Yeah, there's actually a spot where we do up. So,
My mark, I can do that.
yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to Williamson County Board of Commissioners. Today is May 11th, 2023. It's 1:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Jim Atkinson.
Present.
Jim Razor.
Present.
And Jim Marble.
Yeah, Jim is away today. The purpose of today's meeting is to have a public hearing for the energy transition grant. We will hold public comment until after Ken Stoner reads the grant. So Ken, I'll turn it over to you right now if you're ready.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Ken Stoner. I am the Economic Development Director for Greater Regional Planning and Development Commission. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through this a little bit. The Energy Transition Community Grant Program was created by the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, signed into law by Governor Pritzker on September 15th, 2021. DCEO's role in CEJA, which is again Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, is to help Illinois' workforce prepare for and train for jobs in the clean energy industry, and to provide support to workers and communities facing plant and mine closures. This is the first NOFO, Notice of Funding Opportunity, for this program. Under current law and subject to appropriation, new funding opportunities for this program will be available annually through the year 2045. The Energy Transition Community Grant Program will provide grants to promote economic development to communities that are in an area with a closure or reduced operation of a fossil fuel power plant, coal mine, or nuclear plant. As far as what the grant will be used for and what the approved uses of the grant are, grants must be used to plan for or address the economic and social impact on the community or region of plant or mine retirement or transition. Eligible uses of grant funds include, but are not limited to, the following: workforce development, including upskilling and reskilling for high demand, high wage opportunities in regional industries, and investment in training facilities. This may include tuition assistance and wraparound services for trainees, including stipends for housing, transportation, and childcare. Financial assistance for unemployed, underemployed, and or low-income residents, including direct cash benefits, childcare, housing, transportation, and healthcare. Public infrastructure investment, including water, sewer, transportation, drainage, broadband, public facilities, and others. Site cleanup and environmental remediation, grants to incentivize relocation or retention of companies, marketing and other investment to boost tourism, recreation, and business development opportunities, affordable housing, public health initiatives and community health facilities, healthcare facilities, downtown or commercial redevelopment, including investment to enhance public space, improve energy efficiency or sustainability of facilities or infrastructure, and renovate or revitalize historic buildings. Public, along with supporting research and analysis for economic development, transportation, I'm sorry, I said to public, I meant planned. For economic development, transportation, or other programs to address the impact of the closure, and investment in local or regional operational capacity for economic development or business development or grant writing or planning through local government or nonprofits. The background of the phase one process. In phase one, Williamson County submitted an application to DCEO to verify their eligibility and to determine what amount of funding would be made available. The county was notified on March 1st that the county is eligible and would be able to apply for up to $62,511. Summary of the impact of the closure on the community or region or the applicant. SIPC, which is the Southern Illinois Power Cooperative at Lake of Egypt, has significant reduction, not a closure. In October 2020, the SIPC plant shut down its largest unit, which was Unit 4, resulting in losing 37 high-wage jobs. 26 of those 37, 26 were employee layoffs with an additional accepting buyout offers. Description of the applicant's proposed or anticipated use of the grants. Williamson County plans to use the funds to hire a grant writer who will focus on bringing additional funds, jobs, and opportunities to the region. The anticipated cost of this full-time position for 1 year is $85,691.80. The grant will pay $62,511, and the county will have a matching share of $23,180.80.
Thank you. We will open the floor up to public comment.
You said that the grant money would be good until 2045, is that what I?
Their program itself will be available annually through 2045. And Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, but each region is only eligible for 6 years from the closure. So whatever date that was reduced, which was October of 2020, you could potentially be eligible every year for 6 years.
Okay,
But
so,
not necessarily at level one.
okay, so if you hire a grant writer and the grant writer puts these grants together and none of them get approved, do you still hold on to the grant writer?
The grant writer, once the grant funding goes away, then that position may or may not go away. It will be determined by the board at that time, put into our budget.
I was wondering because you wanted to phase it out, but Celeste was still,
Well, that was a
not you
different,
guys.
right, that was a different board.
Right.
And we've seen that since Celeste has been gone, that we have a need for grant writing. And, yeah,
I do agree with you to add what the chairman says, that it's a position that needs to be evaluated annually on an annual renewal. But as long as that position is bringing in funds that at least cover its costs,
Right.
in my opinion, it's worth having.
So we'll say the grant writer writes a grant, he gets it, how much of that grant money does the county get apart from the fund? I mean, I know you're gonna get paid something for her to be doing that.
right, there would be an administration on some grants. Carry on, some grants have administration fees.
Every grant is different, and it depends on, what types of grant that this grant writer goes after. So, and just separating this out, so this, grant through DCEO that we're applying for now would be one thing they could apply for annually, and that money could be used to help pay for their position. Although at some point, the amount of money that the county gets could be a whole lot more. The reason it's only 62,000 is because power plant is still paying taxes on that. If they were to stop paying taxes, if that were to come off the tax rolls, and there was a huge financial impact to the county and to others within the region, that amount of money could go way up because they have a formula on how they do that. There's $40 million annually. So that may change the use of what they want to do with the funds in the future. So this would be an annual process of what they want to do with this money. As far as the other grants that they apply for, there's community development block grant programs that they could apply for on housing and public infrastructure and different things throughout the county. Some of those do allow for administration funds to be used to cover their expenses. So, if they had a couple of those funded, it is possible that you could use that money to help pay for the position. Or if it was a better fit and what the county wanted to do is to make sure that that money actually got put into the project, they could use the county funds to pay for the position and that money could actually be put into the project. It just depends on a project by project basis. Other grants that you may find yourself wanting to apply for, like there's assistance to firefighter grants, there's, all these different smaller grants. They don't come with administration, but there's a benefit that the community gets when those are received. So, hardly anybody ever pays for somebody to write a grant. On occasion, really complicated, and somebody will. But there are some grants, usually the larger in scale or scope ones, do have some allowance for the administration fees to be covered on the back end. But primarily, those within this would be the CDBG grants. And I know Celeste, or I think Celeste has worked on those a lot in the past. Beyond that, I don't know. And some of the other grants, they do or they don't. Just depends on each program is different. Most of the other grants don't have administrative costs, but it is possible that if you were to write a grant for a community, that it's possible that they do a contract, for administrative services, whether the grant pays for it or not. There is, you know, it is a service that you're providing, whether that's free or not, it's a decision.
I do want just to state for the record that we did send out the letter in advance of the public meeting and requested any comments to be sent in advance. Did not receive it.
I'm glad the mayor is. Okay,
I just, I always felt like that, the last job should have stayed. And of course, I know she was getting close to all the time anyway.
Yeah.
That's
Did she have to write grants for the city of Pittsburgh? Did she? Well, I would assume that position, when we finally fill it, will probably be the same. We would encourage that person, just to the county for other places where there's need.
and she was good. She knew the ins and outs. I spent a lot of time with her. It's something I think the county needs to hold on to.
I think you're absolutely right. I think at the time when we started talking about making that position, bringing it back, I think the board knew, we were anxious to get it. I think we want to get it. It's beneficial to the county.
Okay. What it is,
So,
she works well with smaller, or did work well with smaller communities, you know, and everything like us. We didn't have a problem with her. She was out there. I had a problem, she'd come out and see me.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
hands on. Absolutely. Let's see, we have one person that's online. Is there a public comment from the online person? On the top left corner, is that one person watching?
There is, but if they want to make a comment, it will show up down on the bottom.
Okay. Anybody else have a comment? Can we fulfill this obligation for this?
I guess I do have a question that we can clarify. What's the next step?
So the next step now, we've fulfilled the public comment period or process is that we complete phase 2 application. So we decided what we want to do. We've asked for public input into that process. So now it's just a matter of filling out the application, submitting that to DC.
Do we wait on anybody or do we go with people? All right, does anybody have anything else? Last call. Well, then I'll make a motion to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson,
Yes.
Jim Razor.
Jay?
Thank you, folks, for coming by.
Thank you.
And Mayor, appreciate that you came by today and
I needed to read from it.